Hey, what is up, guys? It is your boy AOS Parrot coming to you with episode 2 of my Knighthood Play-Along series that I am showing to you on YouTube, or if that's where you're watching it, but I'm also streaming, me recording it over here on my Twitch account, which the link will be in the description. So, as we went over last episode, we talked about the following hunts and how we want to be doing those to collect shards, and I also talked about how I'd open a few chests just to do the daily challenges, and we happened to open them and get one of the heroes that I wanted to showcase actually the most when it comes to early gameplay, and that is Titania. She is the only one that I have personally on my main account that is a double healer. Her basic and rage ability heals you, and if you can actually get her up to 4 stars, her basic ability applies focus, which is very, very strong. So once I got her, I leveled her up to level 4 off camera, and from there I haven't really done much except for raid the hunts and gain the shards to work towards the next level stars for my heroes. So on today's agenda, we want to be focusing on 2 main aspects of the game that we want to unlock. First is going to be shrines, and then the second is going to be the arenas. So first we're going to work towards getting the arena, because it is the one that is also in Asland. Oh, that's not good. So we're going to work on this conquest and the juicy mine. Very much so, Tan Man. Juicy mines are very important. So if we look, as we went over last time, we want to look towards matching our weaponry and our heroes towards what we are attacking. So in this sense, we have beasts and goblins, so we want to use our strongest goblin weapon, which we can actually upgrade, so we're going to do that quickly. And then we're also going to bring in our 2 heroes. So let's fight. So in this battle, as we went over, we want to make sure we're punching the armored characters, and then we can also swing if we need to. But I'm going to build up my rage ability so that I can show you Titania a little bit more. So now that we have our full rage meter, we're going to show, in the next turn we're going to show off a Titania a little bit. So her base power, Fey Gift, gives us regeneration, but when you get to 4 stars it also applies focus, which is a very important buff when you get to late game, as it allows you to critical more and then work with other gauntlets to regain your rage power very quickly. When we get to that point, I'll show it off where it's how important it actually can be, but right now we're just going to stick to the basics. So the next thing we're going to do is show off her rage ability. So her rage ability is Lunar Light, and it says it's strong against beast, but the thing is with Titania, that is one of the with the strong against beast, it doesn't really apply much, as she is a healer and does no real offensive damage. So with Titania, you can take her in against anything and she will still be the same. Also, she gives the chance to protect. But one thing that is important to realize is anything that is a positive buff towards you will always apply. An example, protect and regen, no matter what, if it says chance to apply, it will actually apply 100% of the time. But for example, we use Grim, his freeze ability doesn't always apply. It will apply every so often. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Depends on how strong his level is compared to the enemy level that you're facing. But with the level that we're at now and how strong my Grim is, he is able to actually just kill most enemies outright with his base power. So we're going to just quickly use Grim because he's strong against all 3 enemies on the field. He also does a little bit of healing, so it's kind of beneficial, and we can almost outright kill the level. So, as he is saying, you can also use Grim to take out backline if there's a tanky front line in the way. So we're going to do that. We're going to follow his thing and build up rage power to use Grim to take out the archers in the back. Depending on how far you're into the game, sometimes the archers aren't as important to focus on, and then there is other levels where the archers are the most important thing to focus on, as they will take away your health and not actually hit straight armor. So they will bypass your armor and actually go straight to health, which could be very devastating if you don't take care of it. So using Grim's ability, we killed one of the backline archers, and now we're left with two very weak ones. So we're going to use Grim's ability to try to take out the front line, and we also applied freeze. So we're just going to punch to try to kill him. So we've killed frontline units, and now we can just attack the archers. And make sure, guys, if you want, when you're seeing this video, if you see it when it comes out, come over to my Twitch, because I'm probably recording the next one at the same time. So with that, we've unlocked the mine. The mines are important because if you're on often, they can give you the materials that you need to level up your gear. And it comes up, they can become very important at the higher levels when the materials are a little bit harder to obtain compared to at the lower levels. So we're going to work on the next conquest, which is majority goblins again, with a few beasts and a few outlaws in there. But we also, let's see what we can upgrade as well. You always want to be constantly looking at this to see what other stuff you can upgrade. So we look, and we have some gauntlet upgrades. I wish I had that gauntlet. As Tanman stated, free passive ward is always welcome in my mind. So we're just going to simply switch over and use this armor. There's no real point on leveling up gray armor at the beginning because you will replace that with green armor very quickly. So I actually recommend personally saving your abilities, saving your ore a little bit just to use it on like green or blue armor depending on which comes first. So same tactic we're going to go for. We're going to start punching to build our rage meter. So I always go for the guy with the armor first, or whoever I think is the biggest threat. Also, another thing that I think, if you don't have as much time to sit around and wait for the enemy to attack, if you actually hold the screen, it will actually speed up their attack as shown. So we'll show one without speeding up and one with, when there's a little bit more enemies, because that's where it actually shines a lot more. So we have 3 enemies. So when we'll go through and just attack them. Actually, we'll kill this wave probably pretty quickly. So as one thing I mentioned, we always realize that the hardest stage is normally the 3rd stage of a conquest. So if you can kill the previous stage without using your rage ability, that's always the best option, because now I have Grim's rage ability to use on the hardest stage of them all. So we're going to show you here now what it's like without. Oh, it froze a little bit. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So sorry about that. My recording just actually froze. So we'll try to show that again. We're gonna try to build up, not try to kill them, so we have the same thing going on. So that was without speeding it up. Now we're gonna show you what it's like when you speed it up. So we're gonna continue to attack. We're actually gonna kill the main middle one. But then if we hold it down, the speed is so much better, or so much faster than if we didn't hold it down. So that can be very beneficial if you don't have much time or there's a lot of enemies attacking you that you want to just speed up the battle. So there we go. We actually leveled up to level 6 with that attack, and we got another gauntlet upgrade. So we're gonna make sure we upgrade our gauntlet, and there we go. That's the first thing that we've wanted to do when we started this episode, is unlock the Versus Arena. So the Versus Arena, what a sight. This is where knights are around the world assemble to test their strength. So let's look what comes in the arena. So first we have the main arena. So in here you can look and actually see your enemies. So it's going to show us minions. With minions, you can collect them throughout the game that you play, as you collect them with different gauntlets, and different gauntlets allow you to collect certain ones. So right now we got given the dead parrot. It's a funny one. I think we're just going to use that the entire time. And wild hog. So in the arena, we have 4 main things. So we have our main, where we choose our opponent and fight. We'll be going over that in a later episode. We're not going to go through the arena today. We have our rewards. So this is where you can buy certain things, hero chest, and so on. The great dead parrot is a great starter minion. We have weekly leaderboards, so we don't fall under there. Last week, and we have guilds. Oh, the guild did not want to come up. I guess the guilds aren't going to load for us. Most likely, my fellow streamer and YouTuber Tan Man's clan is probably leading it, as I've noticed he does a lot. So make sure, if you want to see high level arena gameplay, definitely go follow his stream, because I know he does a lot of it. But we also, on that time, unlocked another hunt. Barry EU, thank you for the follow. How are you, Barry EU? So the next thing we want to focus on is trying to beat Sir Drakeson. So going into this fight, there's going to be 3 stages, if I'm not mistaken, and with the level up that we got, we're going to upgrade our weapon even more, and we're going to go into the fight. Not much, just recording a video for YouTube, Barry. That's it. So Sir Jakeson's going to be the final boss of this area, which we're going to try. Once we take down, we're going to unlock a new area, which is Highgrad. So, as normal, we're going to punch to build up a rage meter. Once we have our full rage meter, we're actually going to use, in this attack, we're going to use Grim's ability to freeze and finally take him out for this stage. Now he pulls out his Rage Gauntlet. When you're fighting other people, they will have the ability to use their Rage Gauntlet. But for us, we already have our Rage built up. So we're going to use Grimm's Rage Power to see if we can kill him with that. Very much so. That's why I'm doing it, because there's not many lower gameplays. Like, people, like when I started watching the game, Barry, I wasn't able to find any super low gameplay to actually understand what people were going through. So that's why I decided to record it. I'm going to need to grab a charger in the middle of this recording. So we're going to continue to fight. We're going to pop Grimm's ability, and we're just going to focus on taking him out. So continuing on, now we have our Rage ability. When we get to a fight like this, we're just going to constantly use our Rage ability as it comes up. So do as much damage as possible. Whew, I'm out of breath. So we seen there, he was able to use his Rage ability. So now we're going to try to kill him before we can use it again, or heal himself using people's Rage abilities. Ooh, sliver of health left. And there we go. Fight has been won by our knight. So with that, we also leveled up to level 7, and we completed a daily task as well. So let's go see what our daily task was. So we're also going to claim our reward for beating, and there we go. We collect another very important hero for early gameplay. Anara. So there we go. We have unlocked the second area, Highgrad. So our goal is to reach the new thing, which is shrines, which allows us to level up our heroes over time without wasting scrolls on them. Of course, Knighthood's got to throw in its deals. Don't recommend buying those if you're, as I've went over. As Tanman asks, make sure these gauntlet cores at the beginning are very important to use, as they do not carry over to any other gauntlet. When you start getting more gauntlets like the Champion Gauntlet, Maverick Gauntlet, and so on, you're going to want to be saving those a little bit differently depending on which gauntlet you use the most. So all we actually have left in our dailies is to just finally open a final chest. So as we went over, we don't want to open any of these 3 unless we have the 10 or 5 that are needed. So we're going to wait on. We're not going to watch the daily one on stream. We're going to do that off camera. You can do that whenever. We come in here, and we have a bunch of things to upgrade. So we're going to look. We also have unlocked Anara. So I'm going to put a few scrolls into Anara to make her... Oh. We're going to put the 300 XP scroll to make her level 6. Because she's going to be very important in the next area, as we're going to be going up against strong versus undead enemies. So we're going to focus on the next conquest to unlock the next town. So we're going to switch over to our undead weapon, as it will provide more damage. Oh. We're also going to use Titania. The reason why we're going to use Titania is she's a great healer, so if I need health, helps out. We're also going to level up our strong versus undead weapon just so we can do more damage. Continue on with the fight. And see, one mistake I just made there is the fact that I forgot to use those cores. So as we mentioned, we want to use those cores as much as possible. As stated by some of the viewers, Anara is very good, as she helps out in every place in the game, and she's got a very good abilities. We're going to go over some of those now. So with Anara, her base ability is another healing one. Healing is very important for when you come up against levels that are going to be hard, because the enemies might do a lot of damage, but if you can heal yourself and return that damage, you'll be able to beat that level. And then her rage ability that we're going to go over is strong versus undead, and it burns. It's the sulfurous solution. Nearly messed that one up. So she does a lot of damage, and she applies burn. Burn's another one of the... Burn's a very helpful thing, as it does damage to them even if you're not attacking them, as shown there. So we're going to continue on the fight and see if we can get through this one. Since we're wanting to go through this fight a little bit quicker, we're going to actually use our sword more. Did my thing freeze again? Oh, there we go. I don't understand why my recording software keeps freezing, but we'll see what we can do. So we're just going to continue to go through this one. This is a level that building up rage could be very crucial, as there's a lot of enemies who are strong, undead enemies. So with that, we're going to actually go ahead and build up Anara's rage ability. Wrong. Anara. So she does a lot of damage. She was able to take out one of the back archers, which is very helpful. So we're just going to heal just to make sure, unless something goes very wrong, just make sure. And we're going to finish off the level here. We're going to reset our recording software. There we go. So there we go. We got another core that we're going to use. And we're going to continue on. So we have unlocked the next stage and another hunt. Or next little market and hunts. We also have unlocked side stories, which you can do on your own time. I'll be trying to show some of them off in the videos. But unlock portal and earn 10 event points. That is actually for the Dark Tour event. We'll be showing that off in tomorrow's video. So this is going to be our final conquest before we end the video, just as this will be unlocking our feature that I want to show off today, which is shrines. So we're going to come in here, but we're not going to do the same mistake as we did before. And I want to make sure when you do this, you want to make sure you're always constantly doing this. It's trying to tell me to get the Maverick Gauntlet. So we're going to actually look down here, which ones could be best. Well, I like critical bonus. And we're just going to lock stun finisher as well, but we're also going to increase our health. So you can add those to wherever you think could be most beneficial to your game. That's just personally where I think it could be good. And then as I said, we're going to upgrade our green armor because it will be a little bit more useful. And now we're going to go into this fight. So we're going to build up Anara's ability just to be safe. But once we have it built up, I'm actually going to use my sword a little bit more to do more outgoing damage per turn. So now that we have our ability built up, we're just going to attack with our sword until it becomes necessary where we have to use her ability. And make sure if you ever feel like they're doing too much damage to you, make sure you heal. If you take a few turns to heal a little bit more than you think would be necessary, it's better to be safe than sorry, because you don't want to have it where you have a sliver of health left and you get shot by that one little arrow that kills you. So make sure you're playing on the safe side and get the heals in when you need. And that also includes if you need to use, instead of using Anara's rage power, use Titania's. A lot of high level players will tell you that if you go into a long fight, an example like Kren, Rockjaw, and White Peaks, and you feel that you're one hit away from killing him, and you forgot to heal and he kills you, it is very upsetting. So we're going to just work on trying to kill these guys before they can do too much damage to us. So I feel confident that I'm not going to die on the next turn, and I'll actually finish off the level. So I'm going to full on attack, and there we go. So now that we have finished this, we have unlocked the feature that I want to show off. The feature that I wanted to show off today was shrines. So in the game, there's actually 4 shrines that you'll see throughout the points, and they come up in different areas. So the final shrine that you can find is in Realm of Fire, and then you have one in White Peaks, one in Myrefin, and the one in Highgrad. So you're going to enter the shrine. So what exactly is the shrine? So the shrine is basically where you can allow or level up your heroes. For example, I want to level up Grim, because Grim is going to be very useful as his rage power does healing and damage at the same time. So he's a very strong hero. So what is when I hit deploy? So basically for the next 15 minutes, I'm not going to be able to use Grim. But in those, when he comes back after those 15 minutes, we're going to be able to receive 480 XP. As you reach these new shrines in each area, these shrines will be very helpful to reach the next levels that you require to beat that area. So don't be afraid. Make sure you're maxing out your shrines every day. Same thing with hunts. Shrines, hunts, and roaming monsters are very crucial to do every single day, because if not, you could fall behind on the progress. So that's going to be my episode for today. So we've covered shrines in the arena. I'll be going in depth with those later on in the series, but not today. We're going to focus on getting through Highgrad next and focusing on the Hunt Master and the Portal on tomorrow's video. I'm hoping you guys are all staying safe, staying home, and keeping well during this global pandemic. And thank you for watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. And that was my name is AOS Parrot. Thank you for watching. Peace.